Hello, everyone, and welcome to Seriously Loco's watch along of El Paso Locomotive versus Orange County SC. We're here in the playoffs. El Paso made it. That is something that happened on the final day. It is. Wow, what a start, I guess, to USL Championship Playoffs. This has been low key, high key, insane. Um, the two best teams in the East are already out. That happened. Pittsburgh's gone, Tampa Bay's gone. Detroit and Birmingham pulling off the upsets. Memphis was eliminated by Louisville, although calling Memphis, I know they finished ahead of Louisville, and at the same time, like anyone who knows the history of Louisville knows that Louisville's the favorites when it comes to the playoffs. But we're here, we're in it, and we said on the podcast that Locomotive making the playoffs, like once you get in, that's all that really matters. Like once you're in the playoffs, anything can happen. And that is being proved so far in the USL Championship. Just madness so far. Thank you guys all for joining in early. Let's go Locos indeed. Let's get it, says Herbie. As now I'm watching San Antonio take the lead against Colorado Springs. Absolute horrible when playing it out from the back goes wrong. Man, that was really, really awful from Colorado Springs. Anyways, talking about Locomotive, they found their way into the playoffs, and now they've got a shot. So with that being said, I'm still adjusting some of my little banners here, so don't mind my clacking and clicking. But holy moly. So Jorge Hernandez has just given San Antonio the lead. That's a thing that happened. But we are here in the pre-match. Orange County SC versus El Paso Locomotive. This is, we talked on the podcast, myself and Mika talked about the fact that this is a difficult game for sure, given that Orange County is so good recently, and they have their weaknesses, and they match up. Like as far as matchup goes, this is pretty good out of who you could have played, right? Like there's a very real possibility we played Sac Republic. That's not a great matchup for us. San Antonio, any sort of rivalry game first round would have been a big ask. Just a lot of emotion. So anyways, there is, there could have been worse. Orange County matches up all right. So anyways, all that being said, we are in the pre-match build up. We've got about 10 minutes to go. So talking about the lineup. Well, it's, as it scrolls across the bottom here, it is exactly what it was in Oakland, which, I mean, it's probably fine in terms of, we played well to start. I like the fact that Eric Calvillo is in a freer role. And hopefully that means that he can get involved early on here, because I think Eric Calvillo will have a lot to say about what goes on tonight. But for those wanting the overview of the lineup, no prizes for guessing. Benny Diaz, who has played literally every minute of Locomotive football this season, in goal again. The back three at the center and the heart of defense, Navarro, McHugh, and Dolenmeyer. Dolenmeyer obviously grabbing his first ever goal for the club, and a decisive one, a vital one, in getting Locomotive back to the playoffs. Dolenmeyer's been great since he came in. He gets another start, and that back three performed quite well, it has to be said, in Oakland. Petrovic and Lyons are the wing backs, as it's been for a little while now, and they're going to be flying up and down the wings. It is this sort of back three, back five system, however you want to characterize it. And then Eric Calvillo, Liam Rose, and Chapa are going to be playing in midfield. So yeah, no worries there. Like I said, Eric Calvillo, I think, is going to have a lot to say about what goes down tonight, and he was so important in the attack and us feeling a little bit potent again in Oakland. And then Manny Sanupe gets another start alongside Aron Gomez. I think if I'm being honest, that is kind of what you'd want to see in terms of the team. Just having a little bit of dynamism up front, and a little bit of just that extra edge. Manny is a threat, obviously, in behind. And then you've got Josue Aron Gomez, who he dropped off a little bit, like, to receive the ball more, which was good, because that dynamic between him and Manny was just really solid. And I hope it continues today. It seemed like they found some really good moments in Oakland, and hopefully that continues. So we've got some scoreboard watching going on here too. Sacramento takes the lead over New Mexico United. No surprises there, but maybe the West will be, hopefully not in Orange County's case, but at least Sac Republic will be a little bit more serious than the East so far. Because absolute madness out in the East, but what else is new? They used to call the West the simulation, but apparently the East is maybe a little bit goofier. We've also got the small matter of Orange County's team itself. They've got Shuttler in goal. Lamb. They play a 4-1-4-1, I guess you could call it. You could call it, some people would probably call it a 4-3-3. Some people call it some people call it a 4-1-4-1, I guess. But the bottom line is they play 4 defenders, a defensive midfielder, then 4 across the midfield, and an attacker in theory. Now, I would say it's closer to a 4-3-3 because Bryce Jameson and Milan Olaski are going to be more attacking. So anyways, them across the back 4, Lamb, Nakeem, Powers, and Dogman across that back 4. Then they have this midfield 3 of sort of Brian Olaski, not Milan Olaski, just to be clear. Brian Olaski, Seth Kasipli, and Kyle Scott. Kyle Scott comes in for Kevin Partita, who is suspended for this match for Orange County due to the red card he received on the final day of the season. So lucky for Locomotive. And then Bryce Jameson and Milan Olaski are going to be playing out on the wings, with Thomas Among starting up top for Orange County. So a strong 11 for them. Andrew Fox starts this one on the bench, so you guys will obviously see the familiar faces, or the familiar face of Andrew Fox likely at some point in this one, but he does start this one from the bench. For Locomotive's bench, and those curious, Dennis Costitian, Chris Garcia, Javier Garcia, Zacharias, Yuma, Petter Knudsen, and Nick Hines grace the bench. So a lot of familiar faces, but Petter did return in time from international duty to be able to make the bench for this one. And yeah, so strong team from Claire Hout and company. And where's the rest of the pod squad? So it is I'm flying solo for now. Christian should be jumping in at some point. Maybe sort of like right at kickoff, maybe a little bit after. But Christian should be probably hopping on. But I am going to fly solo a little bit. Mika won't be able to join tonight, unfortunately, but I will be flying solo a little bit, and hopefully I'll be able to keep up the energy as we get closer to kickoff. About 3 minutes to go. Get in the chat. If you are just tuning in on Twitch or anything like that, be sure to like not subscribe, but follow us. All that sort of stuff helps us in the algorithm, etc., etc. Same on YouTube. You can like that, and all the live watch alongs go up on all these places. So yeah, keep an eye out. But thanks everyone for hopping in. Get involved in the chat, and we'll try to talk each other through what is likely to be a pretty stressful occasion, given the fact that Locomotive obviously taking on a team that ended in second towards the top of the Western Conference, and yeah, we'll see how things go. I'll be providing some alternate commentary / my own little analysis throughout, and just pure reactions as well, as we try to watch things unfold. In these couple of minutes before kickoff, I will just talk briefly about what's gone on in the rest of the USL playoffs, because if you don't know yet, it's been kind of crazy, which maybe bodes well for Locomotive coming in as the underdogs in this one. So going down the scores, Detroit City, the 8th seed in the West, knocks off Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC 1-0. Their academy product, Dominic Gasso, scores an absolute thunderbolt from outside of the area. So Detroit City stuns the Players Shield holders, like the team with the best record in USL, already out. Similarly, at Al Lang Stadium in Tampa Bay undone 3-0 by the 7th seed Birmingham Legion. It was a pretty comprehensive performance from Birmingham, and absolutely ridiculous that the two best teams in the East already out. And on top of that, Louisville, who some of you might be surprised, like, how was Louisville the lower seed? And yeah, it was that sort of season for Louisville. They went to Memphis, won on penalties. So yeah, the East has been an absolute mess so far. But the West shaping up a little bit more along the lines of what we would have expected, I guess. San Antonio FC leading Colorado Springs 1-0, that game in the 66th minute. And then Sac Republic taking an early lead through Connor Donovan in Sacramento against New Mexico United. So all that being said, madness early on, but Locomotive are going to have to keep that trend going if they want to stay in the playoffs. We are having folks join across platforms right now, and we are going to get our stream up and running here now that it has crossed that 10:30 mark. If my Hulu will cooperate, or my ESPN Plus, you get what I'm saying. All right, so we are getting rolling here. If Locomotive advance tonight, they will take on the winner of San Diego Loyal and Phoenix Rising, a game that takes place tomorrow at 10 p.m. So yeah, Sunday night, we will find out, if this game ends in the way in which we would like, then then we'll, yeah, then we'll face either Loyal or Phoenix, the winner of that game. But all that being said, it's worth noting that that Orange County and El Paso, Orange County, we drew 0-0 there the last time, and maybe got away with a couple of they brought up the contentious penalty calls, but the bottom line, Milan Olaski, the guy who they're showing on the broadcast now, he's been pretty much their offensive output the second half of the season, and they're rightfully showing Benny Diaz on screen as well, saving a penalty last week that essentially kept Locomotive's playoff hopes alive and got them in. Yeah, with all that being said, it's shaping up to be a wonderful, wonderful matchup. My nerves are shot. I don't really know how else to approach this one. Yeah, my ass is gone, as they say in the UK. It's just it's departed. So yeah, unbelievable opportunity. Unbelievable opportunity for Locomotive tonight to salvage something pretty special from a season where it felt like maybe they weren't going to get a whole lot at certain points. But so to this, I thought Olaski went to Europe. Olaski has signed for Nordsjælland in the Danish Superligaen. He, however, does not actually join them until January. So they basically, I think they were trying to work out for him to go in the summer. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if it had to do with if it had to do with like getting a visa or, immigration or something like that. But basically he's agreed he's joining in January. So after a couple more months, he'll be on his way to Denmark. But for now, he is still going to be facing off tonight against Locomotive. Milan Olaski, for the context of everybody watching, and if you listen to our latest episode, you heard about this, but Milan Olaski, 20 goal involvements in USL this year. That is double the next most goal involvement contributing player on Orange County. He has 20. Thomas Among has 10, and that's the next closest. So just in terms of importance, I mean, we're talking about a guy who contributed literally more than double the next closest contributor. So yeah, he is essentially going to be the most important part of all of this. Is if Milan Olaski goes off, then like there's really not a whole lot we can do. But if we contain Olaski, then we definitely give ourselves a shot. So yeah, everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining. Jump into the chat. It is a nice nervous energy outlet. I'll randomly be flashing up people's takes and stuff on the broadcast. And wherever you're joining from, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, we see all the comments. We can see the whole chat. So yeah, feel free to just commiserate along with me. And we'll pull stuff up as we go. Here we get another look at Orange County's shape. They have it as a 4-4-2. I think functionally you can expect Olaski to drop into the hole. He'll drift out to the wings. He's going to find where the space is, and he's going to have a very free role, whereas Among is going to be a little bit more of a traditional number 9. They have us as a 4-3-3. I think we all know that that's not how this team really shapes up. This is a back 5 or a back 3, really, with those 3 center backs, 2 wing backs in Miles Lyons and Petrovic. And then you've got that midfield 3 of Chapa, Liam, and Eric. And then Sanupe and Gomez up top. But it's definitely not going to look like a 4-3-3, just to be 100%. I think we've also got Mike Watts on the call, which is not it's not like an Orange County. I feel like he just got done calling the Louisville game. Man's an absolute Iron Man. And Orange County get things underway. We are underway. As you guys know, totally fine to post spoilers in the chat. It is not a big deal. Fake goals, I will absolutely boot you. Like that. Don't talk about anything fake going on. This stream, like I'm watching the stream with you guys, and then I'm talking into this stream, and then this stream is being beamed out over the interwebs, whatever. So just know that this stream will likely be behind whatever you're watching, just to be completely clear. If you want to sync up, I'll go ahead and like say some timestamps. And that way, if you want to pause your stream until this catches up with sort of what you're watching, either way, or if you're ahead of us, totally fine. But, don't talk about anything fake happening because that's just mean. As Orange County are on the ball, as I am about to hit the 58-59 1 minute mark. So that is where we're at in the game. Orange County have a throw. And yeah, here we are, guys. This is it. It's happening. It is happening. We are no longer in the pre-match. We are in the match. The ball in, headed away by Miles. Well tracked there. And then a nice job sliding in. But early pressure for OC. And sort of feels a little bit like the very, very beginnings of the game against Oakland, if we're being honest. So we talked on the podcast this week, which if you don't listen to our podcast or haven't listened to our podcast, you can find Seriously Loco on any of the major podcast platforms. I'm sure most of you listen, but if not, just going to go ahead and drop that plug in there at the beginning. If you listen to the podcast this week, you know that we talked about the fact that there could be an upside to the fact that Locomotive had to play a do or die game already in Oakland and sort of has a feel of playoff soccer, because that was essentially a play-in game for the playoffs. Like we needed a result to be able to even make it here. So it's kind of already been do or die. Mentally, they're already in that space. So it could be an advantage. It could also be a drawback because if they're, high strung or they're emotionally exhausted from the last game, it could be a drawback. But little bit of possession here for Locomotive as they try to play it out from the back, and OC definitely keeping the press up to put Locomotive into those sort of situations where, like that, the ball gets put into touch for an OC throw. Locomotive having a little bit of trouble in the first couple of minutes, just feeling out that press and finding some space. But Orange County back on the ball here. Played out for a throw for OC. Yeah, it's nothing more nerve-wracking than the single elimination soccer, huh? OC playing a ball back, Gomez keeping the press on. So there is a little bit of a press here. Chapa getting into the press as well, but the ball over the top, miskicked by McHugh, and then eventually he does get contact on it. A little bit shaky there from Eric, and you'll definitely not want to see that sort of situation again as Lions able to play it off of an OC player, and it goes behind actually for a goal kick. Well done in the end by Miles Lyons, and Eric did just enough to deal with that, but holy moly, I definitely will not want. I just won't want more like that. Let's be real. That was a little bit scary. It seemed like a harmless enough ball, but it's one of those where it's like, as a defender, don't let it bounce. I'd say that's probably the lesson there. Is this long ball goes up towards Sanupe. That ball does bounce as well, but into the arms of Shuttler, and OC able to start it back the other way. I like when Manny is able to get into space and stretch his legs, but I don't like when the ball just kind of goes over the top and we don't try to play through the press or try to string some passes together. As OC now on the ball, trying to get forward down the right, but opting to play it back. goes across to Nakeem. And it's chipped over the top. Someone's running onto this, and it's past Diaz. What a clearance off the line. Oh my God. What a moment. Dogman ran in behind from that right back spot. He did really well to touch it past. McHugh made just enough of an intervention, and the improvised finish. McHugh tries to head it clear, heads it off of the post. Oh my God. I can't believe that they didn't concede there. I thought once Diaz was at sea, I really thought it was all over. Good pressing by Manny. I'm just I'm not built for this. Oh my God. That was crazy. Man. McHugh barely bailing us out there. That is not it wasn't great goalkeeping from Benny Diaz either, as he just kind of let Dogman touch it past him. This time foul given Locomotive's way. Dolenmeyer, a bit of a sore one left in on Dolenmeyer. Yeah, Benny's just doing nothing there as Dogman tried the improvised finish and McHugh just gets enough on it and Benny able to recover. That just wasn't, as you get a flavor of the reactions here. Yeah, it was strange. I think he was worried about committing a handball, but his whole like process of trying to come out to claim it just didn't, it never looked like he was going to get there, and then he stopped. So it was like you're kind of committed, man, like you got to do something. And luckily Dogman not able to get the second touchdown, because basically if he decides to just head that and try to put some actual like oomph behind it rather than just touching it past Diaz, he might actually be able to score straight from the header. But tough to generate the power just from sort of a standing start like that. But with the goalkeeper all at sea, you never know. It could have trickled in. And yeah, not a great start from Locomotive so far. They got caught out by a couple long balls over the top. And Orange County are just not letting Locomotive breathe at the moment. Listen, I'm not saying that they're, basically whatever you want to use, like for you do that. I'm not saying that anyone should, but I will say that this is probably a good approach. As now a foul given against Liam Rose right on the edge of the box, and Orange County really keeping Locomotive under a lot of pressure. And it was actually Noah who sort of left something on him, although I would say maybe a little bit soft. But free kick for Orange County right outside the area. And well, if we were hoping for any sort of chill start or to be let off the hook, I mean, because by this time Emmanuel Sinupe had already opened the scoring in Oakland. But if you were hoping for that early respite, obviously we're not getting it. So we'll see. Orange County really trying to draw something up. I'm not sure what they're, as they chip it to the back post and straight into the arms of Benny Diaz. This was a lot for just a chipped ball to the back post, but Navarro probably needs to be closer there, but luckily just doesn't get the header right. Otherwise, I mean, it was a absolutely free header at the back post. Navarro looking for the big switch, can't find Petrovic, and then OC able to bring it down and play out through Locomotive. Orange County opting to play it back. Yeah, not a whole lot in the way of possession for Locomotive in these opening 10 minutes. It's been sort of all Orange County early doors, which is obviously concerning, but Locomotive clearly looking to play on the break. But they need to get to grips with this game pretty quickly because they're not looking super duper sharp right now. I'm also, can I just say, oh, shout out to the Locomotive fans right behind the Locomotive bench. That is awesome. Shout out to them for traveling. Um, and they've got some good seats, front row seats to the Clare House show in the dugout there as Locomotive on the ball here. Petrovic and Dolenmeyer exchanging some passes before it goes back to Benny Diaz. And this is where they've got to break this press like at least once. They've got to find the way through this press because every time that they choose to go long and sort of just like give up on breaking the press, it lets Orange County off the hook from having to continue to press. Where it's like we gotta try to move them around as McHugh tries to go over the top, and the flag's going to go up against Sanupe here, which Sanupe a little frustrated with the call there, but it did look like he may have gone a little bit early. Orange County restarting from the free kick. But yeah, every time that we try those like chip balls over the top and keep Orange County from having to press because we're just not going to play through it anymore. We're just going to try to play over the top or play more long. We're just giving them more opportunity to press into, deeper into the half because they just don't have to run and their defense can collect things. Is this ball over the top threatening? Navarro deals with the initial one. And the return ball there for Dogman is poor and out for a Locomotive throw, which goes back to Diaz. Rose on the edge of our own area, which is not necessarily where you want him like turning on the ball, but he does escape it well and then finds Calvillo. Now Petrovic in a little bit of space. Opts not to dribble into it, which I think is a little strange. But now Calvillo looking for the run of Lions, headed down. It might fall for Gomez here. Gomez turning in the area, lays it off. Navarro joining the attack now. Cross comes in, headed away by Orange County, and that was better. That was better. That ball from Calvillo was actually selective and actually picking out a run rather than sort of just playing it long. Lions restarts from the throw. Although I maybe would have wanted to see Eric look for something into someone's feet. But it did look for Lions, and then the knockdown fell for Gomez. So I mean, that's the sort of thing that you want to, if it's into the area, you can cause problems. That's the sort of ball that I'm getting upset about because like we're chipping it in behind to nobody rather than try to play through pressure. And we've got to break the pressure and turn them around, like get in between them and the goal. Cause if they keep everything in front of them all game, like we're going to be in for a long 90 minutes or I guess, 80, 77 minutes or whatever from now. Anyways, Orange County back in possession after that long ball. And out wide to the right, Calvillo trying to close down the cross, doesn't quite get there in time, but Among way out. It would have taken a very special header to score from there. Diaz restarting from the goal kick. I'm just really looking like, okay. See, that was just not a good ball from Calvillo, but they did try to break the press initially, which is good. But they just did it was like the right thing to do, but they did it the wrong way. Orange County back in possession, which is feeling like it's going to be the story. They play a pass that splits the entirety of the Locomotive midfield in one simple pass. They get out to the right-hand side. Initial cross is blocked. Dolenmeyer trying to close down here. It's laid off for Olaski chipping it to the back post, and then the run just wasn't there. So El Paso off the hook. There's a lot of Locomotive just not looking sharp so far. Opening 15, just not that good. I am at 15-15 now for those wondering. As Diaz, poor pass out from the back, bailed out again. Diaz needs to wake up. Diaz has got to snap out of it, because whatever is going on, he's just like far too casual back there. Like this chip ball out puts McHugh under all types of pressure. Luckily, McHugh gets a deflection initially, and then it's Liam Rose charging back to get in front of Among and put that out for a corner. But that's an absolute, there's just you cannot do that. As this corner kick comes in, one at the near post by a Locomotive head, and then free kick goes Locomotive's way. And I think the referee whistling this one dead because of a potential head injury to a Locomotive player. And I couldn't see initially who made that charging header to sort of clear it, and the camera, for whatever reason, is refusing to actually look at which player was down behind the ball, but okay. Big shout out to these Locos who are in Orange County. You absolutely love to see that. And right behind the Locomotive bench, I think it might have been Dolenmeyer who was down behind the ball. The world may never know. Just USL broadcast things. As Benny plays the ball out to Miles Lyons. I don't think that was actually the pass he was trying to play, but it did work out well. And then it's across to Liam, across to Noah. And McHugh. No one is showing for the ball in the press. Gomez playing the ball out wide to Petrovic. Petrovic with some space, maybe trying to isolate his man. Navarro across to Lyons. Lyons fouled there pretty cynically, it looked like. And this is a good location for an El Paso free kick to get it in the box and have someone try to get a head on it. It's a little central. But good job by Miles Lyons. And honestly, just getting a free kick to allow for some pressure relief. This is the sort of thing. This is actually a really good angle for a Patar, like a whipped delivery into the box, looking for somebody's head. Oh, what a chance. That was such a good header too. Or not it was not a good header. You could see what Dolenmeyer was trying to do. He's trying to glance it and just use the pace on the ball. He just doesn't quite get enough on it. That was a good idea and a decent technique, but he just sort of gets it wrong. But Dolenmeyer almost on the end of another one. And Locomotive and McHugh in this case stopping the potential counter attack. And now I'm gonna take a break and take a drink. What's everybody drinking tonight? Drop it in the chat. What is our copium? Aside from the edibles, Jake, that's fine. I guess it's not necessarily drinks, but what are we medicating with? Orange County going down the line. Bryce Jamison able to bring that down. We've got a Clamato. Respect. Ball into the midfield for Orange County. They lay it off to Scott. Damn, flexing on us. Love a good bourbon. That ball missed initially by Petrovic. And now Orange County get a corner. It looked maybe like a foul. Gave it the sales pitch here for Estrella. Angels have Envy Bourbon. Jen coming through with the Truly Marg. I mean, we stand. Glanced header coming in from Orange County is wide, thankfully. Honestly, this is also a move. I'm down. I'm down with this. Stress eating chips and salsa. Yeah, I'm about to be stress eating my hair or something. I don't know. That's not a thing. Oh man, that glanced header from Powers was really good. And yeah, luckily no harm done. 20 minutes gone. Locomotive have not looked like they're going to cause an upset. I'm just going to say that. They have not looked like causing an upset aside from winning that free kick. And Gomez does well here to win a free kick. And there is maybe just a chance, as Gomez down with a bit of an ankle injury here, or just a little knock on his ankle, I should say, but he's back up. Kasipli, I think the one who committed the foul, you can spot him by that just dirtbag mustache from a million miles away. One of the most, I mean, it is one of the most iconic facial hairs in USL. He's had that since he was in Reno. But Miles Lyons on the ball. Little bit of pressure being relieved by the fact that OC have been committing some fouls against Locomotive, and they're going to need to win these free kicks to just relieve some of the pressure. But it also has that knock-on effect of OC starting to get maybe a little bit frustrated because they know they've been the better team. There's no real ifs, ands, or buts about it as Locomotive win a throw here, and Lions restarts. Or Choppa restarts for Lions, I should say. Police up that mustache. Classic television moment. Is that ball done well to Petrovic has done well to find Liam Rose, but Liam is just kind of not the player that you want. But he does well, wins a free kick. And it's Kasipli who's giving it away again. I gotta say, you know what? I gotta say, I think Sipley's mustache would be in regs for the military because it has that very distinct edge, it has that very police look, the edge of the lips. It doesn't, it doesn't like Burt Reynolds around it. But yeah, this is a good spot for a free kick, almost like a corner. And yeah, if I'm Locomotive, I'm telling Dolenmeyer to make a near post run, and I'm just gonna try to ping it off your head, and direct it into the goal. Another option here is a layoff. They could try to just lay this into somebody's feet and create a shot, but Petrovic with the in-swinger tries to whip it in, hit on the volley by Calvillo, but yeah, it's wide in the end. And it's the sort of ball that you want Petrovic to play. It's just unlucky that a Locomotive player couldn't get ahead on it. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with the old, just holding my phone on my desk, apparently. I don't know. Orange County back on the ball. 24 minutes have elapsed as Dolenmeyer, I think, gives away a free kick. Bryce Jamison, I just think he doesn't really compete for the header here. He just kind of feels there's nothing in that. It's not a free kick. But it is a free kick, and Orange County are about to take that free kick. They do the little run up business, and the shot came in at the far post, and for a second there, I absolutely thought we had conceded. Over the bar from Dogman, luckily, but wow. We have a final. We have a final in San Antonio, 1-0. So Colorado Springs, the architects of their own downfall. Yeah, they'll have no one to blame but themselves, unfortunately. As well done from Eric Calvillo there to find Chapa, who, again, just looks for a pass that he doesn't need to play. He's looking to release Manny into a crowd of 3 people, and he would have had to have hit an absolute dime for that to be anything of consequence. He just rushes to that decision where he should have allowed things to develop in front of him a little bit more. And now Orange County straight back into the attack. Laid off, some good intricate play. Among trying to beat Benny Diaz to this. Diaz gets to the ball first, and Among does try to appeal, but Benny absolutely got to the ball first. It was clear on the broadcast. It'll be clear in replay, and good no call by the referee. Although I'm sure there will be Orange County fans on Twitter who are upset about that, but don't let them fool you, because there was nothing in that. Well done from Benny to beat Among to the ball. Chapa, see this time, a little bit of patience, take some touches, finds the simple pass. Calvillo goes for the switch out to Navarro, and Locomotive maybe with a little bit of space to operate here as the line of engagement drops off a little bit for Orange County now, a little over midway through the half. Did Brian turn into Sean Dyche? The only thing I will say, he hasn't fully turned into Sean Dyche because he does still have his hair and his voice. But if either of those things go, then we may be in trouble, and we might want to alert the authorities. But no, from an approach perspective, he has gotten, I would say, overly pragmatic. Yeah, I because it's been pragmatism without, like, the results part. But anyways, I think it's really, they got in this like siege mentality of, we just got to start getting results. But the way to results is this ball into the box from Miles Lyons. Calvillo and Gomez get in each other's way. Calvillo was trying to call Gomez off of that, as now Liam Rose running away with it. Manny, and that ball back to the keeper. But yeah, I think we got overly pragmatic because we were like, hey, we just need to get some results on the board. And in doing so, like, left a lot of our principles of our playing style and the strengths of the players in the squad to the side basically to try to get results, and then didn't get results. So yeah. All right. Yes, absolutely. I am at 28, 24, 25, 26, 27. So, yep, about halfway through the 28th minute. Dolan Meyer is going to go into the book this time. Little unlucky for Dolan Meyer. I think he actually got the ball, but he went in a little out of control there. And yeah, Dolan Meyer on a yellow in the 29th minute. Not what you love to see if you're a Locomotive fan. Yeah, never mind. He didn't get to the ball. It's actually it's a good decision by the referee. Jameson gets there first, and it's a challenge he just straight up does not have to make. He just doesn't have to make it. Yeah, it's a yellow. So, and it's another free kick for OC, and they have been dangerous from these. They've created a couple of good chances. They've created 2 shots. This far post ball as Benny, all at sea. Benny. He absolutely clattered. I think it's Jameson in there. He absolutely clattered an Orange County player going out for the ball. Now, this is genuinely okay. So just to be clear, I don't think there's anything. And actually, I think the contact is more. Because don't get me wrong, these can be really bad for the player, like jumping into the challenge. And this guy protects himself by pushing his body away a lot. So yeah, I don't know. What's going on with Benny? That's a great question. I don't really know. He's just not. He's not confidently coming for the ball, and his decision making just hasn't been good tonight. Now, when they show this replay again, I think they need to show that the contact, like the player, I think it's Among, protects himself and with his hands. So he actually makes most of the contact, like in this. Among is the one who puts his arms out and actually makes contact. Benny doesn't make contact with Among. Like, Among, okay, just to be clear, this is not. They're talking about a foul on Benny. It is not that. It's not a foul. It's way different than like, so you guys will know like the United Wolves situation, right? Earlier this season, for those who watch Premier League, when Onana absolutely takes out I think it was Kalajic for Wolves, like absolutely lays him out, gets none of the ball. There's nothing like that happening here, and they're actually being disingenuous in they're actually being disingenuous in the conversation here because they're not watching the video. They're assuming, like, they've made up their mind about the fact that, hey, this is a nasty collision that Benny Diaz has caused, when Among protects himself by holding his arms out and actually making contact with Diaz. So yeah, they are creating a narrative that they want to see, but just watch the actual video. It's not a similar situation, and he's nowhere near getting the ball. Even if Benny's not there, he doesn't reach that ball. So anyways, just to be whatever, provide some actual context here, but that's never a foul, and if that had been given, that would have been insane. So Locomotive restart from the goal kick. 33 minutes have elapsed. Dolenmeyer striding forward. Dolenmeyer on a yellow, worth noting. Dolenmeyer trying to get it to the feet of Gomez, not able to, and then it's forward from Orange County to sort of no one, but and Among is back on the field, as you'd imagine, because that wasn't that bad of a collision. Anyways, here we are. Locomotive with some possession, but given away simply sort of by Petrovic. Gomez trying to win the ball back, can't, and it goes out to Dogman and behind off of Lions for a corner kick. Yeah, Locomotive have put basically 2, maybe 3 good attacking moments together. That's good. That's very good. Orange County have another corner here, and yeah, Locomotive just haven't offered a whole lot. It's been kind of brutal, to be honest. to the far post, headed away, and it'll be an Orange County throw. Yeah, straight up, I think with 10 minutes to go, the 35-minute mark just hit. With 10 minutes to go to halftime, I think the message is absolutely get to halftime. Just get to halftime at 0-0. That's it. It's just not whatever it is. Like, I think Orange County's just nullified us completely. And I don't think we're responding particularly well to the pressure they're putting us under. So yeah, just get to halftime. Dolenmeyer challenging there. McHugh able to clear it. It doesn't go all the way out as Jameson able to get on the end of it. Jameson doing some dribbling out on the right-hand side. Olaski into the box. This might actually be a counter opportunity if Locomotive get this right, but they just don't have the numbers, and Chop has to lay it off. They just didn't have the numbers back to be able to make anything out of that. And then Manny, surrounded by 4 players, gets played the ball, and it's just like the patterns are just all wrong. Yeah, I mean, I would say this is not that weird. In the league, right? Like, it's not that weird. And there would have been another world in which Javi plays a bunch because we make a cup run or something like that in the Open Cup. I don't think it's that weird for your first choice keeper to play all the minutes in the league, barring injury. And I think also, in Benny's case in particular, I'm not going to make excuses for Benny because I think he's been absolutely shocking tonight. But I think he's also a confidence player. And I honestly don't know what, like, if he got genuinely benched, like, I don't know if he'd ever recover. I don't know. Like, he just strikes me as a guy who is very emotional and kind of plays on the edge all the time. So I don't know. Like, I would say in general, though, it's not that weird for your first choice keeper to play most of the, or if not all of the league games, as that was not a good challenge. Not a good challenge from Kyle Scott. And probably a little bit of opportunity there I honestly think he could have probably gone in the book, but it's as bad as what Dolenmeyer did. Let's be real. Yeah, there's this ball forward for Gomez, and Shuttler just about deals with it. Ball into midfield for OC, and now Locomotive like turning up the press a little bit and then getting called off. Because I thought, oh my god, we're actually trying to like make something happen. I feel bad for our forwards. They're just running. Like, they barely get any touches. They can't like get. We're not seeing Gomez do what he did as much against Oakland and occupy the space. We're not seeing Calvillo occupying like advanced spaces. As Olaski has a dink from way out and luckily well wide. But yeah, we're just not seeing, like, the patterns are all wrong. Like, we're just not, players aren't in the space that you'd want them to be. We're way too ponderous on the ball. We're just not making like quick decisions. We're not, but when we by the time we do make the decision, like, we don't choose the right power or the right pass or anything like that, as Benny waves everybody forward to just boot it. Which at this point I'm fine with, because, well, and he gets that wrong. And kicks it right at Milan Olaski, who plays it through for Among, but luckily he was off. Good goalkeeping that he has to do because of a bad goal kick. Like, I don't know. I don't know what Benny got up to this week, but whatever it was, he's in the mud right now. He's been absolutely terrible. And I hate to say that because he's been largely so good for us this year. He's just tonight he's been absolutely shocking. And Locomotive once again getting pressed and then just playing it long. But this time it actually does find the chest of Emmanuel Sanupe, which means Gomez can get onto it, and then Petrovic can get onto it now subsequently. And Locomotive might be actually cooking something up here. Petrovic able to recover after that initial kind of lunge. Rose lays it off for Dollenmeyer. I would have liked Liam to maybe turn into space and look for an actual pass there as he looks long. We're looking. Why? Let's be real. Let's be real. Why are we playing high lofted balls to Miles Lyons? We're asking him to go like win the ball in the air against center backs. Why? It doesn't, like, guys, come on. Why would we do that? Why are we doing that? And then Rose commits the foul. And it's just the thing is like, we're not going to have many chances. Okay, Calvillo on the ball. Gomez turning. Gomez playing a long pass, cut out. But Gomez winning it back because he's just an absolute machine. So Gomez running into the area. Finds Sanupe. Just a decisive touch. Like, that's what I'm asking. Just a decisive touch in the box. Somebody taking responsibility for trying to score. Just okay. Anyways, so Orange County on the ball. What hat am I rocking? I am rocking. This is actually because of earlier today. I am rocking an Alpine hat, which is a Formula One team. Because I made the mistake of watching the Netflix documentary Drive to Survive, like following the Formula One season, because I had friends who were like, and family who were like, oh my God, you should watch this. You would love this. You would like get so obsessed with Formula One. And I should have heard that for the warning that it was, but instead I heard it for, oh, I've been looking for something to watch, right? I'll give it a shot. Well, here I am wearing a hat of a Formula One team. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you're thinking about getting into Formula One and you're already obsessed with many other things, don't do it. Don't watch Drive to Survive. It's amazing. Don't do it. It's one of those things here, seems boring. I agree. That's what I thought. I was like, what's the point? Seems like the same kind of teams win all the time, whatever. And then I watched, I got emotionally invested, and here we are. I'm wearing the hat. So that's my journey. That's it. Orange County on the ball. We've got a minute to go till the end of regular time here. Emotionally implode. I guess I am emotionally imploding, as that is a dive. That is a dive. That is a shocking decision. As Chapa gets fouled, and then that is There's nothing in that. No. That's a dive. Oh my God. That's just a, and right at the end of the half, please let nothing come from this. Please let nothing come from this. Please. Please don't. Free kick on the edge of the box. Olaski. I mean, you just knew it, right? Okay, so what I will say, okay, a couple of things. First off, obviously that should never have been because it wasn't a foul. And Chapa was fouled right before. Why is this not showing what I actually, okay. You can't fault Benny, but here's where I can fault Benny. The fact that he can shoot it straight at the corner, that the wall is not covering, that is, you have to, if all else fails, if he gets it up over the wall, right, to the other side, okay, like fair play. If he gets it up over the wall, under the bar, fair play. I'm probably not getting across to it. You cannot like give him the corner that he can see around the wall. Like, he should not be able to hit it straight into that corner. Now, if he whips it into that corner, again, fair play. But he basically hits it straight into the corner. And that is essentially why the wall exists, right? Is to get him to either shoot that way or try to get it up over the wall. And instead, he's able to shoot it basically straight into the goal because Benny is cheating the other way. So I get we can't fault Benny in the sense that, like, I don't know that he would have been able to save it. And it's absolutely his job to construct the wall and trust the wall so that he covers that side of the goal. Because basically, Olaski hasn't had to put it in the corner. He hasn't had to, like, be super accurate. He basically just hit it at that side of the net, and Benny went the wrong way. So, yeah. Oh, God. You could not have asked for a worse end to the half. You cannot. Oh, and the refs high-fiving each other at the end of the half. This is too much. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Oh, God. Watching that foul back is going to... If that is what ends our season, that fucking free kick, I'm going to die. Because I can't believe that they awarded that free kick. Anyways. Holy shit. What was I talking about? Oh, we absolutely deserve to be behind. I just want to get that out of the way. We deserve to trail. Like, in the sense that we were very all over the place at multiple times. Easily could have conceded multiple times. So the fact that we're going into the half down 1-0 is not necessarily unfair, in the strictest sense when you look at it through the lens of the whole half. It is not good, and it is really upsetting that it was a concession from a situation that, one, should not have existed, and two, was avoidable, like, from us. We should not have conceded that goal, and that they shouldn't have had a free kick there. So that's really where the disappointment comes from, because it's like, we didn't really deserve to be scoreless at the half because they were much better than us. And once we get to that point, 0-0, that shouldn't have been why we conceded the goal. We had plenty of other reasons to concede the goal. They didn't need the refs' help, and we didn't help ourselves in that case. I'm going to say that Massage Matters commercial really, really, really disturbed me. I don't know about anyone else. Did anyone else just watch that commercial? Thank you, Gabe. I appreciate it, man. Yeah. Solo is how I've rocked on live streams often. I don't know if anyone remembers the OG deep in the pandemic Twitch days of me playing in like FIFA tournaments and playing a bunch of Warzone and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm oddly, weirdly comfortable with the solo stream. But no, I appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out. Obviously, like, it's halftime, so go ahead, grab like Oscar here. Grab more chips and salsa, grab more, grab your snacks for the second half, grab additional drinks. I know I'm going to need to reload here in a second. Wow, man. That really deeply upset me. Let's talk about the performances. And I'm going to go from back to front. So, for Locomotive, Benny Diaz, horrible. Like, maybe his worst performance of the season. Or his worst half of the season. And he's had some howlers because we've conceded a lot of goals. He's been really poor. He hasn't been decisive on balls into the box. He hasn't been decisive when he's decided to come out of the box. And he's largely been sort of, he's just made bad decisions. He actually almost gave away a goal that Eric McHugh had to clear off the line. He gave the ball away shortly before we gave the goal up. He's been extremely poor, and it's been out of character. Like, he's been out of character bad. The back three, Navarro, McHugh, Dolenmeyer, I think have actually been pretty good, and McHugh's probably been the standout so far. McHugh has made a couple like last-ditch interventions. Dolenmeyer's been a little bit rash. That would be my only critique, and he is on a yellow card, which obviously tough spot to be in. But yeah, he's been, I would say largely we've been okay across our center backs, and certainly none of them are at fault for the goal. So it's Navarro who concedes a free kick, but it should never have been a free kick because it's an absolute dive from Moloski. So okay, midfield. Absent, I guess, would be the thing. Calvillo and Chapa are not getting on the ball enough. When they are, they're not making like super great decisions. Liam has been more present, but mainly in a defensive sense, as I am now joined by Christian Canales. Christian, what is going on?
What's up? This I was catching up, and this all seems very typical.
It's one of those things where I guess our half, how I described it to the good folks in the chat was like, we absolutely didn't deserve to get into halftime at 0-0. But once we, like, the way we conceded the goal also shouldn't have happened, because it shouldn't have been like, it was should have been a free kick for Chapa, and then subsequently it was a dive from Olaski that wins them the free kick on the edge of the box that he scores the free kick from. So yeah, it's I've invited on my BetterHelp therapist. And if anyone knows anyone at BetterHelp, they can sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, because that shit's expensive.
We'll do the ad reads during Locomotive losses. But yeah, so in terms of performances, Chapa and Eric not involved enough in the play. Liam very involved, but only really in a defensive sense. And then, so yeah, it's not been a stellar night for midfield. Lyons and Petrovic, I think, just aren't getting on the ball that much. Petrovic probably provided the best moment of the first half with the whipped ball in towards Noah off a free kick, which probably, if Noah gets like just slightly more contact on, it's probably a goal. But
sorry, I'm watching that like 15-second sequence of absolute like fuckery.
Oh yeah,
that's god awful.
Yeah. Oh, the where we almost like conceded at first, and McHugh had to like, or you mean when we conceded at the end of it?
When Chapa absolutely got like his ankles chopped out from under him.
Yeah.
And the ref is right there.
Yeah. Oh, it's bad. If you watch this broadcast back, you'll see me slowly descend into like madness. So yeah.
That's so terrible. Like, even by like the standards we're accustomed to, that is so bad.
Yeah. And then I guess up front, Manny and Josue have just been, we've been doing the whole thing where we kick it and make them chase it, and it's like not, it's not helping either of them. Mm-hmm. And in those few moments in the first half, like where they're getting touches in the box, they just like haven't been sharp. It's kind of like bouncing off them, or they're just not really like settling the ball and making like decisive touches. So yeah, it has been rough. Like we've tried to do the whole like play, we don't play through the press at all. We try to go over it, and OC's like basically nullifying most of what we do going forward. And then in absolute, but all that being said, like there, we easily could have gone into the half at 0-0 and felt pretty good about the fact that like, hey, we get another crack in the second half, and we just got, we got fucked.
We got hoed. Plain and simple.
Who do you think has been our best player so far? I mean, probably McHugh, which is not great when he's the standout. But I just don't think anyone's really offered more than him in terms of interventions. I wish I could say there was an attacking player who impressed more than him, but I would say it's probably Eric McHugh so far, and mainly because of just he's done stuff that prevented extremely silly goals from going in quite early in the match. So I don't know how much of the first half you were able to catch, but Benny has been on an absolute, he's just been horrible. Like this is probably the worst half that he's played for us.
This is not the right time for that to happen.
No.
Like, and he has had some rough halves in the last couple of weeks too. So
Yeah. He's just it's like some of those, it's like the team is just playing really shitty and we are conceding like 5 goals or whatever. Or, I think like second half in Memphis, that sort of thing. This is like everyone else in the defense is playing like reasonably well, and he's just dropping an absolute shocker. Like, yeah, he's been absolutely all over the place, like indecisive when he does make decisions to come out, like not getting there. Gives the ball away, like basically gives the ball straight to OC, and Eric had to clear a ball like off of our own post with his head. Yeah, it's been a mess. So there were many stretches. This is the moment, Christian, if you've got the stream up, this replay they're showing now is the
oh, was he off? Oh my god, and
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He's been on a journey where Benny just sort of like lets him go past.
Yep. But like, what was he even doing that for? Like? Oh man.
So, yeah, not exactly what we were hoping for, given the energy that we had tonight with. So this is obviously, for anyone not knowing what we're talking about, this is the sequence on the broadcast now where Chapa's fouled clearly right in front of the referee, not given. I actually want to hear what they're saying about this. And then Olaski diving to win the free kick, which he then scores, which this is another Benny thing, because Benny thinks he's going to go over the wall, and all he really has to do is nothing, because he's made the wall. And if he just, all he
Trust
does
the
is
wall. Yeah.
if he trusts the wall, and from that distance too, it is so hard to get it up over the wall and back down under the crossbar. So it's like, if he does that, hey, fair play, right? Like,
yeah, like make him make the highlight play.
Right. Like, instead, he cheats towards that side thinking he's going to go over the wall and leaves a gigantic gap on the easy side that he can see from where he's taking the free kick. So the wall is taken completely out of it, and he has that whole half of the goal to shoot at. And it's not in the corner. It's not even particularly like a great free kick. It
would hit him right in the stomach.
Yeah, like all he had to do was nothing to save that. And that's why it's more of a setup issue and a trust issue from Diaz than like because it's like, yep, he sees it very late around the wall. He doesn't but that's why you have to trust. You're not gonna have time to react. He's like 18 yards out. He's essentially taking a penalty kick with a wall in front of you. Like, it's not like you're going to have a ton of time to track the flight and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah. Now, Liam, we are back underway, by the way, I should say. For those watching with us, I'm at 45-40 right this second, 41-42, as Locomotive try to get back on the ball here, giving it away far too easily, and lots of nervous energy about the way that Locomotive are playing so far. And Among wins a free kick, and again, it looked pretty soft again. There's a little shirt pulling, but I don't know if it would have caused him to go down in that way.
But I mean, yeah, I feel like you got to call that one, but still.
Yeah. And another free kick here for Orange County outside the box. A lot of nervous energy in how Locomotive are playing, and they're not really great. I didn't know that they made alcohol this high proof. Like, I didn't know that was possible.
That was commercially available.
But hey, shout out to you.
You
Shout
have to
out.
let us know if you're still alive at full time. I'm
Yeah,
concerned.
welfare check in the chat. OC taking the free kick, and the wall does its job. And behind for a corner. Not sure what's actually going on here. So a corner for OC. Into the center. Okay, what a save, Benny Diaz. What a save. The slander is working. We are channeling Mika right now.
She's here in spirit.
Oh my God. That was a free header 6 yards out. That is an unbelievable save. I can't believe he saved that. I truly thought I was about to slump down because it was about to be 2-0. That is a wonderful save.
Hopefully that's gonna inject some life into the rest of the team.
Oh, that ball fooled a lot of people, and then Among, who was flagged for offside, it looked like, then unleashes a shot into the crowd.
Friendly fire.
Wow. I mean, Jameson does everything right on the header, like heads it down into the ground. It's towards the corner, and that's just an unbelievable save. Wow. Just confirmation that Claire Hout turned on the broadcast at halftime in the locker room. Locomotive win a free kick, but Miles caught on the ball, or no, Navarro caught on the ball, I should say, and saved by Diaz again. What's happening?
I was like, you're about 4 seconds ahead of me, and it's making me very nervous.
Do you want me to pause for a second?
You're like exactly 4 seconds. So pause and count to 4, and we should be good.
Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna wait for a round number so I can. Okay, 49:40. I'm gonna stop. Here we go. So
39:40.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm at 49:52, 53. Okay, cool. We're like right on.
Like, have we touched the ball yet?
And for a player like Navarro to get caught, I even called that it was Miles because I'm like, oh, that's the type of thing that a rookie does in a playoff game, right? And it's Mark Navarro, probably the best, like one of the most technically gifted players in the freaking league, who gives it away, and we nearly concede again, but Diaz bailing us out. And now I don't even know what the narrative is.
Everyone is trash. Cut them all.
Yep. Sell the team. Up towards Gomez. Just a poor first touch from Gomez, who was actually going to have some space. And that is the thing, is like the forwards are going to have so few touches, and every time they touch the ball, they have to get it like exactly right. Like there's just no margin for error. Shuttler tries to play it up the field, and Locomotive able to get on it. Locomotive are gaining a little bit of, like, not to go to American football here, but like field position. Like we're just not pinned back. Like we're not pinned back in our own, inside our own 20 right now. Like we actually have some space, as now Lions whistled for the foul and Scott was down.
Oh, that's a rough tackle.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a little unlucky because he wins the ball, but yeah, I mean,
he gets all of the
he definitely gets Scott for sure. But that's where just like there's just been a lack of sharpness like overall, as among definitely
Shoves.
fouls McHugh. Like he just straight shoved him 2 hands in the back. I don't know how there can be any complaints there. I mean, how would you not?
Yeah.
If that hadn't been called, I would have actually ended the stream.
And I would have been okay with it. I would have
been
left
like,
too, don't worry.
sorry, I can't do this.
Can't work in these conditions.
Hostile work environment. Among plays it off of the heel of Oloski.
Okay, nice little turn there.
Yeah, it was good from Chapa. Chapa wins a free kick too. Well done. The question right now is like not even can Locomotive fashion an actual attack. It's just like, can we actually have meaningful possession in Orange County's half? Got the ball to Manny.
Yeah, it's like, let's see.
Lions trying to make a run in behind. Oh my God, that's so soft. I hate this. I hate how this game's being officiated. Like, if in doubt, just go to ground, because like you're probably gonna get the free kick.
The whistle. Yep.
Luckily, that ball too long for Jameson, and Dolenmeyer was second best in that foot race.
It's like, I don't know if shocking is the right word here, because it's
all too predictable.
Yeah.
But Locomotive again, just unable broadly to keep possession. Like, it's just not happening.
See, and I need them to score 2 goals because I cannot deal with penalties. The extra time and penalties.
Orange County get it wrong there, so Locomotive, yeah. Now, there was once upon a time Locomotive were in a situation like this in California against Fresno where it was looking pretty bleak, and they turned it around. So in that season 1 playoff opening round game, so they have, as an institution, been here before. Almost none of those players are still with us, but
and the ones that are on the bench.
Yeah.
I love that comment in the chat there with Dennis coming on.
Trying to do a Mikhailo Mudryk. Orange County back on the ball and having a little bit of possession. Trying to move Locomotive around a little bit here. Among trying to knot it down. Drilled back into the center, but cleared away by Locomotive. And I think we'll be able to actually keep this in. This is well done from Chapa.
Was it? I think that was Noah. Oh, yeah, I think it was Noah that kept the ball in there.
Oh, really?
I think so. Oh, no, that's Noah. Never mind.
Or was maybe it was Mark or Miles? I don't know, but I thought it might be Chapa. Anyways, Mark getting forward, big switch. He's looking out to that wing for Petrovic. Petrovic plays it infield for Calvillo. This is a little bit more like it from Locomotive.
Yeah, they have
having a little settled possession.
They have Pitar scouted though. It's like he had 2 on him as soon as he got the ball there.
Ball in, headed away. Comes back to Navarro, but Navarro not able to find the right pass. Tried to get a little too greedy there. He is going to be able to keep this in, though, and Lions trying to run away from pressure. Should absolutely get a foul. Doesn't. So maybe it's just if you're wearing orange, go down. I don't know. Like that's a. I wanted to think that it was just soft both ways, but apparently it's not. So. Oh my god.
No.
I swear. And a card for Manny too. I swear this is becoming a literal farce.
I mean, it must have been something that happened off the ball.
It was after the ball went, but I don't think he actually made any contact. Like I think he just challenged for the ball, and so Chapa's coming off, Kostishin coming on. We've got Petr Knudsen coming on as well, which I think is probably going to be for Manny. And then
Nick Hines going to be coming on for
Miles, it looks like. Which means they're going to go to the back four and push Petrovic up onto the wing. Nick Hines will go to left back. Navarro will go to right back, and they'll go to the back four. I just told you. See, this is why Mike Watts, I can help you.
Whoa. He definitely looked like he was out of the box there.
Well, initially he chested it, I think, and then he retreated into the box. Yeah, I don't think he outright grabbed it because he knew he was outside.
I was like, oh my god!
Like Benny, what the? Locomotive able to recover the ball, and that was a late lunge.
No card?
Come on, man. Locomotive get it restarted. Calvillo with it in the center of the park.
Not the ref being like, you'll get a whistle and you'll like it.
Dollenmeyer getting pressed by Jameson, but finds Hines. I do like the fact that Hines gives us just a little bit of energy on that left-hand side. Like him and Petrovic maybe give us a little bit of impetus. Locomotive are getting on the ball like more reliably over the last few minutes, which is encouraging at the least. If nothing else, still just lofting it into the yeah. Petrovic whistled for the foul.
Nope, it was on us. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I thought you were saying that Petrovic.
Yeah, no. There's just nothing in it. Like,
yeah, like if there is a foul call, it should go the other way.
Yeah. The cross came in and it.
I thought that went into the net.
Whiz past the near post. And it goes behind for a corner. 61 minutes gone. Locomotive trail 1-0. Season on the line. Half an hour to figure it out.
Andrew Fox right there behind the corner flag, if anyone didn't catch that.
Loco sightings. Is that long ball looking?
Oh.
Now, flag went up for offside, I guess.
Goal kick, I think. I think
And
she said it went out before he headed it in.
oh, okay. Locomotive getting things restarted. Liam with some fancy footwork in midfield, able to keep possession. Castitian's first involvement there, linking up with Calvillo. I think in general we'll want to see him in more advanced areas, but good to see him get some touches just to kind of get acquainted to the pace of the game and start to get a feel for things. That chipped ball in behind from Hines, sort of the same, more of the same. Like we just like as a tough touch off the chest from Dollenmeyer, who it is worth reminding everyone Dollenmeyer is on a yellow and has been since the 30th minute. So long switch here from Orange County. Petrovic going up for this one with Bryce Jamison, but Costitian able to collect it. Navarro going down the line, but again, just like we're just sort of playing these like speculative passes rather than trying to like specifically play it together. To feet.
Yeah.
And Orange County now going to make a change. Langford for Jamison. Jamison making sure to congratulate each of his teammates on his way off the field. Pretended to half jog for a second. Claire Hout reminding the fourth official to add this time on at the end of the game. Now, wow, they are really dragging this out like to a actually comical amount. Like Jamison actually slowed to basically a halt before he got there, paused, and then hugged Langford like after an exaggeratedly long amount of time. Like it really was like
he like whispered in his ear, like how long can I hold this hug for?
Yeah, like before it gets weird. I actually here's my rule change that fixes time, or that tries to address the time wasting in that, is that if you time waste as a substitute, the player coming in gets booked.
There we go.
Like if you waste time leaving the field, you book the player coming on, and then that way it's like an actual punishment versus I can waste as much time as I want because I know I'm getting booked leaving the field. Like it doesn't matter. So Navarro long ball looking for Gomez, and Gomez actually gets the call there. That was smart from Gomez because that's the way the game's been officiated, is just don't jump for the ball and then act like you've been hurt when the other player tries to win the header. It works 60% of the time. It works every time. And then a bad giveaway from Gomez. And now Orange County on the break here. Among, luckily they just totally dicked around on that counterattack because that was actually dangerous.
What difference does it make?
Yeah. So here's the thing. As Orange County attack, I will get to this as they try to link things up, able to be cleared by El Paso. I think it's two things. I think they are executing on the game plan I don't think they're executing well on the game plan. I think they are playing in the manner that they've been told to play. I don't think they're necessarily doing it well, and I don't necessarily think that it's the player's fault as Knudsen gives the ball away simply for that pass out to Petrovic. Knudsen, it's worth mentioning, traveled to the Faroe Islands to play against Poland, and then traveled to the Czech Republic, and then back to the States over the last 2 weeks. So just and just wide. I'm glad. It is funny. Okay, so I'm going to say something very controversial, and we're already losing, so it doesn't really matter. Milan Olaski is Philippe Coutinho, where he just shoots a lot. He's not actually good. Okay, hold on. He's good. His shot volume is so high that, yeah, his 20 goal involvements are basically like just math. Like it's just like statistically, it's just like statistically, he's gonna score eventually because he does that all the time. Like he just shoots all the time. And so Coutinho would score like 5 bangers a season. He would take like 97 shots from outside the area, right? Like, and it's like 5 would go in. Anyways, so I
what you're saying is Dennis just needs to shoot more.
More. Just a Kylo Ren fucking meme. More. I mean, at this point, I'll take it because it would be shooting. Like that would be nice, actually. Because if I'm not mistaken, we have not taken a shot on target.
I think that is correct.
Yeah, 2 shots, 0 on target. So back to the style of play. I think the players are playing in the style that they've been told to play. They're not playing particularly well. So they're not making great decisions within the style, and the style isn't right for many of the players. Like, so it's a lot of different things. I think that this style that we are playing now was born out of panic of the 12-game losing streak, or however long our losing streak went, or winless streak went. I think it was like, okay, well, if we just do this, we can like at least get a result, right? And we sacrificed like actually playing in the way that we did for much of the season in the interest of trying to get things back, like just to like get us out of the total like tailspin that we were in.
Yeah.
And in doing so, like we basically completely neutered our offense, like in the interest of playing somewhat solidly defensively. When I think the answer was much more in personnel than in
changing the tactic
specifically.
Yeah.
Appeals for a hand. It looked like it bounced up off a foot, like onto a hand. So nothing. I don't really think there was. I don't have a problem with the no call there. I mean, we'll see it back, I guess, in replay. I'm sure they'll make a whole thing of it, but.
And to be fair, like the personnel thing is a big part of it also. Like it's just a fact that we are a worse team without Borelli, without Bense, without Lucho. Like,
yeah. Yeah, we create way more chances and score more when Lucho's in the team.
Here's that replay. Ooh.
It hits him kind of high up on the arm, so there could be an argument about the sleeve. He is a little bit lucky though, because he makes that motion. Like that really is the issue.
Yeah, the arm was in and then it came out too. So.
Yeah. So no, they may have actually had a bit of a case there. Luckily, this referee sucks.
So yeah, at least United is indeed out. So
yep. That would have been heartbreaking if like Detroit pulls off the upset and all this stuff and United comes into that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the one thing they are making the point on the broadcast, and I think they might be right, that the handball, if it was given, it wouldn't have been a penalty.
Because the kick comes from outside the
Because
box?
he's outside the area when it hits his hand. Like only just, but it does look like he's off. Well, so in all of that happening, Chris Garcia has come on for Josue Ron Gomez, who was just having a kind of torrid time, like didn't really impact the game in a meaningful way.
I thought Benny was an OC player there for a second. I was about to scream.
just having full cardiac arrest on camera. Knutson's done well there to keep possession and win it back. Couldn't link up with Garcia fully.
Oh,
Petrovic with a great touch out of feet.
No call though, of course.
It's how is that not a foul? How can we get one? Just one. That's all I'm asking.
I mean, definitely gets a little shirt pull as he goes by there.
Yeah. I mean, Kostićin's trying to foul Among. I get that, but Orange County in possession. Oh, Garcia putting on the pressure, but couldn't quite come away with it. Good tackle, though, from Liam Rose. Okay, or it's a foul. I thought that was actually a perfect tackle, but... And now a booking for Liam.
And I was like, she better not let him take that.
Right? Show the replay here because it's not even a foul. Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe like.
I don't know. I'm still not convinced.
There's not a lot of contact. I thought he won the ball more clearly, which he didn't. But yeah, a booking. I'm not so sure.
I'm positive the booking was more for dissent than the foul.
Yeah. Navarro wins the header. Navarro wins a free kick from Dogman, which... Yeah, 75 minutes gone, 15 minutes to go in the season if Locomotive can't find a goal. They have not found a shot on target yet, and it's been just pretty easy for Orange County to deal with all night. So, I mean, if they go out like this, it'll be disappointing because it's a bit of a whimper, but Kostićin, Knudsen...
Okay.
Knudsen out wide. Hines chops it in. Hines across.
Oh,
how?
No, you've got to.
How is he miss?
He doesn't even get.
All he has to do is touch it.
Yeah, the flag didn't go up or anything. That's bad.
Oh, it was so well done. Everything. Hines chops it back.
Nick. That was fantastic.
So good. Nick. And he tries to...
He just misses it.
Why does he go with that technique? He tries to go with the outside of his foot. He just flicks the outside of his foot at it and he misses. Just kick the fucking ball. There's no way. Okay, he's offside. Okay. The linesmen are at work, actually. The linesmen are actually at work. And Nick Hines what the fuck does that guy have to do to assist a goddamn goal? Like,
Yeah.
between these last 2 seasons, what does Nick have to do to get the guy he's passing to fucking score?
Yeah.
Like, he has put so many deliveries on a plate. That is wow. Wow.
That's the moment.
Petter, I just don't think it's gonna work, dog. If that's like, it's hard to distill a something down to like a specific moment, but if something like that happens, sometimes it's just like, you know what, we should probably just for the best of both parties, like let's just move on. And that's the thing. Okay, so they're talking on the broadcast about like when you work that hard and you still don't create a shot on target from that moment, right? Like that's really frustrating. And like that is the thing about this Locomotive team is they have to work that hard just to create a opportunity to create a fucking shot. Like there is no like ease about the way that we attack. It's just like it is hard ass work.
Everything is a grind.
Yeah, and it's just like that. It doesn't need to be this hard. Like it just doesn't need to be this difficult to shoot. God, it should be 1-1. That's so crazy. That is so crazy. Oh, it's one of those where like you could post a screenshot of the moment that you could post a screenshot of the moment that Olaski's about to take the free kick in the first half, and you could post a screenshot of Knudsen in front of goal, and just like, how am I going to explain to my kids that the first guy scored and the second guy didn't? Like, 79 minutes. OC have a corner. Locomotive fluff their lines on their only chance of the game. It just doesn't feel like it. It just, the vibes are off. The vibes are so off. We've got Chris Garcia man marking the biggest motherfucker on the field aside from Noah.
And he ends up on the floor.
Okay.
I mean, at least they caught it on camera.
That's a foul. Just the full. It's not even a shirt pull at that point. It's a shirt. It's a yank, I would say.
It's like if we were still wearing BLK, his shirt's in pieces.
His shirt would be in tatters right now. Ramos saying he just wants to feel something. For anyone who listens to the Stadio podcast, they joke about existential red cards. What a save again by Benny. What a take from Thomas Among as well.
That was going top bins for sure.
Benny with the save.
What a strike.
It's really crazy because I think it may just drift like a lit. Well, no, man, it's a great strike from Among, and it's just close enough to Benny for him to be able to get there. But yeah, that's a great save once again. But yeah, so for anyone talking about I just want to feel something, they talk on the Stadio podcast about existential red cards of like a guy getting a red just so he can feel something in a game. And that we're in that territory right now for a Locomotive player who just wants to feel something getting sent off.
That's what was up with Benny that one game. where he
Oh my
just like
God.
ran all the way.
He was trying to, wait, who was that against? Because he ran like the whole length of the field
Yeah.
on a yellow card to fight people and didn't get a second yellow.
Okay, that's a foul.
Yeah. Oh, and
No.
Andrew Fox coming on.
Agent Foxy, I love it.
Yep.
Here we
Andrew
go.
Fox own goal, 90+3.
That would actually break my heart.
I know. I actually wouldn't feel good about that.
They've got to walk like off the near sideline, don't they?
Alaska is trying to box out the people trying to get him off the field. Petrovic is like a menace. Like he the fact he hasn't had a red card for like just for like some of the stuff like accumulation of like these sorts of moments.
Oh,
McHugh,
just swatted at the
McHugh
ball.
falling, Navarro swinging an arm at it. I don't really know what's happening there.
That's what my fourth graders do.
I mean, the weird thing is I don't actually think it's a handball because it comes off like his shoulder, but the way he moved his arm, it's always going to be given. Like
Yeah.
it's 100% of the time, like he moved his arm like that toward the ball. Are we okay? Bets in the chat. Do we get in the next 7 minutes plus added time? Does Locomotive register a shot on target?
What is happening here? Oh,
Locomotive got a free kick. Rose to Petrovic. Hines. See, that could be the magic, Ramos, is a Fox own goal would not technically count as a shot on target. So there is a world in which Locomotive equalized without a shot on target.
It's like you can be realistic and happy at the same time.
I did not have enough Trulies for this game. The only reason I haven't been just absolutely slamming these beers is because I've been speaking. Castician delivering the free kick, nodded away. Rose collecting. Garcia was out there, but Rose puts it into the box. And it looks like it's going to be a corner for Locomotive. So stuff's happening. Whether it ends up in anything being anything good happening, Petrovic, as they argue over who the taker is going to be, Petrovic and Castician. But it will be Petrovic with that outswinger. Oh, it was towards Navarro, but headed away. Hines able to get there. And this is a good area for Hines, going past people and winning the corner himself. Oh, she's given the goal kick.
No chance in hell.
That's an absolutely... Oh, my God. That's the type of shit that's like... And now Petrovic booked for dissent. But, I mean, at this point, like...
Might as well just get your money's worth.
Like, what do you even... You can't even describe, like, this... This has just been the most... the most pro referee performance of pro referee performances.
Does he catch it on the way
No.
up? I don't. Like, I'd love to give her the benefit of the doubt.
No. And out off OC, Locomotive have a throw. Little shot, just about 3 minutes left. That's got to be a yellow card, right? Okay. Kyle Scott booked for the challenge on Costitian. That's the first yellow an Orange County player has the whole night. Half our fucking teams on bookings. We haven't deserved anything, and yet I feel hard done by. Like, what the fuck? Why can't USL just let me suffer? Costitian!
The call. I love the call.
Miles away. It was never. It was nowhere near.
Nothing about that was good. Like
No.
the technique was terrible. The decision was terrible.
It looked from the beginning. You're like, this is nothing's coming from this.
His body was pointed toward like the corner flag.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, Jake, at least it was just wide. At least it was just wide and not high and wide. Costitian picks the wrong pass, but it bounces to Liam, which we will absolutely take at this point.
Just to pass it back, but
yeah. At least we have the ball. Dolenmeyer going on his Frodo Baggins, going on an adventure. Ball into the box.
Ooh. See, that just frustrates me because now he's going to take like 5 minutes to stand up.
And also, I don't think it's a foul. He throws himself into that challenge. There was this whole debate in the first half between the commentators about Benny Diaz came to punch a...
Yeah,
is he not allowed to like exist in the area? Like, that's fucking crazy.
Like 5,000% initiates the contact there.
Yeah. Like, it's not a foul on the goalkeeper. Like, I'm not saying that it should be a penalty or whatever.
It's not a call.
It's just not a free kick. And the fact that he fumbles the ball and rolls like 5 times being the reason that we give a free kick is just like, I don't know. I am like anti-goalkeeper, so
stop protecting the goalkeeper.
Stop protecting goalkeepers. Treat them like everybody else.
If they die, they die.
Yeah, exactly. That's in the chat. If he dies, he dies. Exactly. If we don't get 5 or 6 added minutes here, I'm gonna shit. Oh, okay, 5.
I think it should be closer to 7, but
it should be more than that. But I was worried we were gonna get a real USL performance and it was gonna be 2. Okay, let it be known that he still has not taken this fucking free kick, which the foul occurred in regular time, and he takes the free kick 30 minutes into added time, or 30 seconds into added time.
30 minutes into
added time, yeah. Well, this is it, folks. We're into added time at the end of the game. Can Locomotive's first shot on target be decisive and force extra time? That's basically what we're working with here.
I just want everyone to take first touch shots.
Navarro over the free kick.
Start the play.
Petrovic to Dolenmeyer. And a corner for Locomotive. Bring Benny up. Bring Benny up.
Cowards. Oh, there he goes.
Let's go. Can Benny overcome the slander? Oh, it's played out wide to Liam Rose.
Oh, good strike.
Blocked away. It was a good strike. He kept it down. Oh,
move your ass, Benny. Jesus Christ.
and Diaz gets back. In the meantime, he's definitely offside. No, he's offside. That's insane. He was offside. What? There are 2 players back. Benny sent off. There are 2 players back. There are 2 players behind the keeper. That's not a clear goal scoring opportunity. He's fucking 40 yards from goal. What? I don't know why. Okay, yeah, they are making a good point about why did we do that from the set piece if we're bringing the keeper up, you've got to put it in the fucking box basically. Yeah. Which is a good point. He's not the last defender, though. That's the thing. He's also off. That's the other thing. Like, he's offside. He's not in his own half. There have to be 2 players behind you. Garcia comes on. I'm not sure who was sacrificed. Well, we should play a few extra minutes. Oh my God. And now Among's down injured in the corner. Well, this is it. I mean, there's really yeah. Among throws himself to the ground again. At this rate, the game will just never end because we'll actually keep adding on more time.
Yeah, if this game doesn't go to 100.
This is just getting stupid at this point. This is just getting ridiculous. Like, you can't. What's the referee doing? Like what are you doing? This is just getting ridiculous. And the referee's just doing nothing to actually take charge of the situation. And a booking for Eric Calvillo. That's the only booking. Like, No Orange County player booked in any of that. It's gonna be really funny when she just blows for full time, like
At
having
90.
played no additional time, essentially. Locomotive trying to go long. Maybe they can get a knockdown. I don't know. I really doubt it. And she whistles for a foul. I mean, it's just, and then blows for full time. Wow. Fucking joke. Didn't deserve anything from that game. And the way that just transpired was the most absurd thing that I've ever seen. Like, that's, I mean, wow.
Not Andrew in the background there looking absolutely forlorn.
Honestly, that screenshot may be worth it for this season. Hold on.
Rewind.
Hold on. All right, the old snip and sketch tool is going to come in handy here. Oh, I forgot Hulu does that whole thing. Wait, how do you screen grab off of Hulu? Because Hulu does that whole thing where they
I was like,
don't let
yeah,
you
I don't know
screen
that
grab.
you can. Might have to take like a picture of your pause screen.
But how does John Morrissey do it?
Ah. Like is he still on like some club's payroll? Like he probably has access to some sort of tool that we don't.
Yeah, probably. Well,
Disney joined the chat.
well, that is that. I think it's safe to say that there wasn't much that Locomotive deserved from that game overall, and the way in which that all came about was genuinely crazy. And yeah. Wow. Well, Christian, it's over. Your thoughts?
I don't know. This year was wild. You know, like the expectations were not on the floor at the beginning of the season, but you know, but they were low, and you know, credit to Brian and the guys. You know, they it I guess quantitatively they didn't do much turning it around, but the highs this season were miles higher than the highs last season.
Yeah.
And the lows were about the same. I think they just felt worse because of the highs.
Yeah.
So, you know, all in all, overall, you know, I think it was a net positive, even if just slightly.
Yeah.
There's still a ton that needs to get fixed, of course, and only time will tell.
Yeah, I think worth calling out. We said at the end of last season, like we think that this is the biggest roster overhaul that a manager is going to oversee. We were wrong in the sense that like many of the players who ended up on Brian's team were already on Hutch's team. There were a handful of exceptions, obviously, but this offseason where it looks like, and I don't have any inside info, but it looks like we're going to be replacing the likes of Lucho. There's probably some risk that Yuma and Borelli could also be done, just given the amount of time that they were out this year, and where they're at in their careers. So I think it's going to be a big job in the offseason, like rebuilding this roster. And I would say the lesson that has to be learned out of maybe, okay, here are the two. The two lessons that I would learn from this season are, number one, the 22 player squad don't work, especially when like two of the players on that 22 player squad are academy kids. Like, it just, you've got to have 25, I would say, at least. And you've got to have, of those 25, like, you've got to have 18 who can slot into that first team and do like a reasonably close job to the guy that they are behind. So they've got to strengthen the squad depth. Like, that is first and foremost, both in numbers and in quality. And then the second lesson, I think, and this is just based on how we watch, is we've got to stick to our guns tactically, because I think Brian made it clear, like, it became obvious that Brian had a good approach. Like, in that winning run, we were creating. We were actually like creating at a rate where I was like, we're going to score more goals than we've been scoring because our conversion rate is so bad. And we create so many chances. And instead, we just stopped creating chances altogether. Like, we just don't do that anymore. And then, because I'm like, we're going to regress to the mean and we're going to actually score more goals because our conversion rate can't be 9% all season, right? Like, it's not going to be that bad. And then our conversion rate did improve because our chance creation
Decrease.
Worsened so horribly.
Like, regress to the mean. No, not like that.
Yeah. And so that's the other piece for me, is like, we've got to stick to our guns, because we searched out like, oh my God, we're like losing grip on our season. And whatever happened in Phoenix, I would love to know what happened in Phoenix, because something happened where after the Phoenix game, we didn't see anyone for like 2 months, and they weren't popping up on injury reports. They weren't popping it. Like, we can talk about Zacharias's injury. We can talk about the fact that Lucho eventually, it was an injury. Yuma's was an injury. Like, we can talk about these things. And something happened after that big loss in Phoenix to where certain members of the squad were just gone for like a month before we heard anything. So that's the story that I want to hear out of this season, is I want to know what went down in the locker room post the 5-0 loss to Phoenix, because I think something happened. And yeah, so the two lessons I would learn is we need way more squad depth, and the squad size, if it's like, hey, we're going to maintain a smaller squad, like 21, 22 players, it's not enough to get through a whole USL Championship season. And then we've got to play the right style for the players that we have. And like, in the second half of the season, we tried to play a pragmatic style that our guys weren't really accustomed to, didn't know how to create chances out of, and we suffered like for large parts of the season because we just couldn't score goals out of that system. So yeah, I don't know, a weird way for the season to end, a really strange way. And worth noting that Lucho, despite being hurt for like since that Phoenix game, he did not play another time to the end of the season. Top goal scorer for the year. And his last game played was in June. So, right. Was that Phoenix or July? Maybe June or July? July. So yeah. So a solid 3 full months.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 matches.
Yeah.
Less than anyone else on the team that was still playing at the end of the year.
Yeah. And he ends with our top score, and he didn't even have double digits. So yeah. So yeah. I think August was the home match against Phoenix.
Yeah, we're talking about
the 5-0
5
at.
nil. Oh,
at
yeah.
Phoenix.
Well, it was August actually. Still.
Oh, was
but,
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Early August.
Yeah, August 12th.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, August 12th, and then 12 matches from there. That's right. Yeah, James was there. So yeah, August 12th, the Phoenix match. Whatever went down there, we don't see a handful of players like back in the squad again,
or hear about them or anything.
Yeah, or get any updates or anything. And eventually, it was injuries, but I don't think that's the whole story. But that's just me. Because if it were injuries, that would have been pretty big headline news if it was like, hey, Lucho's going to be out for the rest of the season. And that was never said. So just
or that he was day to day, or like literally it was nothing.
It was just who?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's not like this was like, and this, I feel like this is gonna sound shady, but it's really not. Like, this wasn't, Diego Abarca or like Chapa, or like, this was a nailed on starter.
Our top goal scorer. Like,
I'm guessing like the highest paid like
probably
member on the team. Like, and and it's the club's leading goal scorer, like, in history still. Is that still accurate? Like,
he is top in the
and
club's
that
history, yeah.
like, historically, the way this is trending is in December we're gonna get a thank you Lucho tweet and never hear about him ever again. Like,
yeah, no. Thank you, Lucho. Well, cool. Well, I guess I'm gonna try to experience whatever I need to emotionally.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna try and experience joy again. Now that I don't have to worry about what this team is gonna do on the weekend.
Well, I guess as a way of signing off, Christian, I know obviously rooting for another team is not a thing, in the truest sense. But in terms of the teams left in the playoffs so far, is there anyone that you're like, you know what, I'd rather they just win it?
I'm gonna be controversial and say I'm not gonna say San Diego. I know that's the morally correct answer. Oh yeah,
fuck them kids.
But yeah, I'm gonna be controversial and say that now I'm throwing my support behind Indy for the rest of the playoffs.
All right. Well, we shall see how Indy fares against Charleston. The East has gone full meme, so anything is possible. And
yeah, that's wild. The East was all upsets today, right?
Yep.
And in the West, all the favorites won.
Yeah, all the top seeds won in the West, which it's funny given that, a couple years ago the overarching sort of theme of the West was people in the East used to call it the simulation because they thought it wasn't real. Because it was always like wacky results and all that sort of stuff, and now it's like, who's the simulation now?
The AI has taken over.
Yeah, Detroit just knocked out the best team in the league. So, yeah, I was like, I guess all of those points collected against Loudoun and Hartford are showing themselves for what they were.
We got points against those teams, Phil.
No, well, so everybody got points against those teams, but they got to play them twice in the East. Like, they got to play them twice. They got 6 points off of Hartford and 6 points off of Loudoun. Meanwhile, we're having to play, like, we get Vegas, and that's it. Everybody else is like serious.
You're right.
Even the bad teams are serious in the West. Like, RGV is still a pain in the ass. Like, they're not good and they fucking suck to play.
And
like,
Oakland too.
Yeah. It's like the teams that weren't in the playoffs were good. Meanwhile, like, Hartford got eliminated like at match day 26. Like they were out of the playoff. They had 2 wins the entire season.
So that's the club. That's the club Lucho should have played for. He was just gonna stop playing in August
and just like, we're done.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, I guess I would say I'm either rooting. I'm probably rooting for. I am pulling for Indy. Like I think that's natural. And then I would say either of the random East teams that are left, because like Detroit or Birmingham winning would be funny.
Hilarious.
Detroit winning would be fucking hysterical. It would be horrible for the internet because like their fan base would go absolutely rabid, and the content, like I would be like, I feel bad for our league, but this is tremendous content. And then it's funny because I know the San Diego thing is like the sentimental choice, and you just have to understand like how sad it is that like there's a long list of American soccer teams that won their division in their last season of existence. Where you can reading champions for like the NASL, or like or even going back to like the first iteration of the NASL and all this stuff, it'll be like that team won the title and ceased operations.
Year, following year did not exist.
Yeah. Shout out to the San Francisco Deltas, the first tech bro soccer club that won the NASL and then promptly ceased to exist. So anywho, well, thank you guys for hanging in there through that. Tough way to end the year for sure, in terms of very frustrating game, both from how Locomotive played, fashioning 0 shots on target, and in the way that it was officiated, which was extremely frustrating. But thank you guys for hanging in the chat. It's always fun to do these watch alongs, and I know it helps my anxiety during the match a little bit, to be able to talk through it. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and follow on whatever platform you're watching on now, or subscribe, or whatever the platform allows, and check out the podcasts. You can find us, just search Seriously Loco Soccer on any of your favorite podcast platforms. And while you're there, I guess we'll probably record sort of a post-mortem episode, season wrap up. Yeah, we'll wrap up this game. We'll wrap up the season in general, and then we'll talk about, we'll have a little bit of time probably where we don't record anything, and we normally sort of like get our ducks in a row for next season, and we'll try to line up stuff for the next season. This is a shout. Seriously, Loco needs a TikTok. I mean, it could happen. Who knows?
You're great at that stuff, Phil.
I do enjoy a meme or two. So all that being said, maybe I don't know, maybe TikTok in the new year, but we'll get our ducks in a row for next year, and we'll be back. But yeah, we'll do our postmortem pod coming up here, and we'll see you guys then. But until next time, stay loco. Hope everyone has a good rest of your weekend.